Rockbox Movie Talk. And we didn't have Austin sing us in because, frankly, I'm just going to leave you to sing us out because I think it's better.
Yeah.
Do it that way. Yeah.
Fine. Oh, yeah. I see how it is.
So sweet. Yeah.
I'm just going to have to start singing in the middle now.
Yeah. Steve, you're looking really good on camera today, by the way.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Oh, wait,
Very white.
What's wrong with that? Why you got to make it a white thing?
oh my gosh.
Jesus. All right, so today, episode 10. It's a monumental episode. Because
Double
it's...
digits is monumental, or is it the topic?
Yes. Yes. You are correct, sir, in every way, shape, and form. Star Wars, the future of the Star Wars franchise and how we perceive it will go.
I thought we were talking about Solo.
Well, that's part of it, but Austin made a subject change just 2 seconds before you showed up, and I
Thanks for the heads up.
I first of all,
like you can't.
Oh, I know.
Riff on this subject, please.
I can.
Please.
You know the funny thing though, when we decided on the Solo the Solo topic,
I thought we agreed on this topic.
I thought it was in addition to Solo.
Yeah, that is what I thought. And
So
then
this
he
topic-
typed it up like this, and
this
he's
topic-
blaming me. It's
This
fine.
topic is obviously how we can figure out topics. That's the topic of what we're going to do.
So
How do we argue about
the-
topics?
the funny thing though is, I could barely remember Solo, and it was less than a year ago. The funny thing is I'm like, okay, so I need to refresh my memory. So I went and watched the honest trailer of Solo. The very first thing they said was, for those of you who forgot the movie immediately when you left the theater.
It's so true. It's so boring.
I saw
It's
it two
so
nights
boring.
ago. I saw it 2 nights ago.
Oh my gosh.
For the first time.
And you already forgot it?
Forgot what?
Nailed it.
So, all right. So I'll tell you what I thought of the movie,
Okay.
Please.
and then we'll go from there,
Okay.
which is nowhere but down, I guess. You know what? There were parts of it that I liked. Not a lot of parts, and they weren't in consecutive order. Like they were pieced around. I think it would have been a cool movie if they didn't try so hard to make it linked to the original Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, they tried.
You know what I mean? Like every other word, they threw in words that we haven't heard since episode 4.
It wasn't even that. It was like they needed to, like, everything that you could possibly think of associating to Han Solo, they had to explain.
Exactly.
Which was ridiculous.
Like his name?
Oh, God.
Oh, right.
Terrible.
Oh,
He's by himself, Solo.
Solo. Like, I thought that was just his name.
And it was better if it was just
his name. Yeah.
I thought he was an intergalactic Italian.
Oh, good to know
But
that.
no, he's not. He's just a lonely guy.
That's where he got his gun.
Italian.
And, oh, good to know.
Italian. Sorry.
I didn't need to see him meet both Chewie and Lando. Maybe pick one. If you want to introduce, start the movie him and Chewie having an adventure, and then have him meet Lando. I didn't need to see both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have picked Lando
Yeah.
because, really,
I think they picked Lando because you knew he got the Falcon from Lando.
I know
Yeah.
why they did it. I'm not saying that.
I'm not, well, I mean, I don't think that's the only reason, but I think if you're going to introduce the ship, you have to introduce Lando.
And speaking of the ship,
Yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm like, why does the Millennium Falcon look screwy? What's wrong with the thing? And I had to actually Google a picture of the Millennium Falcons. I'm like,
wow.
I thought it was
okay, you're not allowed to be in this conversation
shut
anymore.
up. Shut up. It was 2:30 in the morning and I hadn't been able to sleep. And I was sitting there going, what the heck? Why is it? Doesn't the Falcon have these nipples at the end? Like,
right? That's what.
Maybe it's
that's
probably-
the
I think
official
that's
name.
exactly how they drew it out.
That's
They're
how-
like,
that's-
okay, and then
that's
some
how
nipples
Lucas-
here.
that's how Lucas.
Yeah. Remember.
That's actually Lucas's
episode-
original name for it was the Millennium Nipple.
Luke walks into the thing like, oh, it's a pile of nipples. Yeah, that's what he said.
And so he jettisons the escape pod, which they never ever replace.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
Why would you need to do that?
No, exactly. What good is it?
It turns out the operating system of the Falcon is an annoying droid who is just
that was
terrible.
So last week when I was talking about not getting hit over the head with themes from modern day.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, basically
That
talking
was
about
painful.
that droid
Yeah.
who was just
The one who had a romantic inclination for Lando.
I was waiting
Yeah.
for them to get it on.
I wanted
seriously.
to see it happen.
You know
please,
what?
Please, I want to see this happen.
If they did like a hard cut from like a
It would have been a hard
conversation
cut, all right.
to like just Lando and the droid like doing it,
Yeah.
like then that would have been great. Like, okay, that would have made the whole thing worth it. But like just in the middle of like a serious scene, like I can't leave him because he's, you know, he controls my life or whatever. Like the mob boss or whatever. Hard cut to Lando and the droid. That would have been perfect.
The history of this film, though, I mean, how it got made or sort of made.
Cobbled together.
Yeah. I don't know if that is that a Disney thing? Is that a
Yeah,
think it
it
is.
is
To be
because
now.
that happened with Rogue One.
Right.
It had a ton of reshoots.
Yep.
Yeah, like I think it
because
just
some dork felt that their idea was better than everybody else, and they pulled rank or something.
right. Yeah, I want to see the original Solo Lord and Miller cut.
Yeah.
because that would be
Yeah.
better. And apparently there was like 90% done.
Wow.
And they reshot like 70% of the movie, I think.
Yeah, and I don't hate Ron Howard. I actually like most of his films, but
They're mediocre mostly.
Well, what?
Ron Howard films?
Beautiful Mind.
I haven't seen A Beautiful Mind. Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
Done.
So, all right.
Willow?
Yeah, Willow. All right, let's go. The Da Vinci Code and
No,
that trilogy. Yeah,
Apollo 13.
it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I thought it was good.
Actually,
It's good.
I actually like Willow.
It's
So do I.
Yeah,
Mad Mardigan.
I like Willow just fine, but I'm not saying like the cinematography, the perfect filmmaking of Willow. You know, like it's fine.
On
It is one of his earlier
episode 11,
films, though.
Episode 11, Austin is going to dissect Willow.
Yeah,
Who was in Solo? Warwick Davis.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I do
Stupid,
love.
ridiculous part, and he had 6 lines.
I love
or
Warwick
6
Davis,
words.
and I wish he was in more things.
He should have been in more things, but
Now that Peter Dinklage has like 3 Emmys,
He's got the cornerstone.
yeah, he's gonna get every good dwarf role.
the Willow reboot, I don't think he'd take that role.
I don't think he would either.
Yeah,
He's a little old for it.
He's also an actor. I
True.
don't consider Warwick Davis a very good actor.
what? Come on, did you see
He's not.
Leprechaun
He's-
6?
Oh,
Back
Jesus.
to
Shut
the
your
Hood.
hole.
Back to the hood.
Yeah, that's real. That's
Anyways,
a real.
we
movie.
get back to Star Wars.
Yes, let's get back to Star Wars.
All right, so what has gone wrong with the Star Wars world?
That they kept going.
Yeah, too.
I don't disagree with that at all.
too much too quick. Like once episode 7 came out, it has not stopped. There's been no
Well,
break.
thank you, Disney.
Yeah, Disney. Yeah, the Disney thing.
Although-
really,
Even before it was Disney, no, 1 through 3 were just
they were trash.
trash.
They were utter trash, and I don't even think any of these new movies have reached that level of trash.
No, they haven't.
But it's because they don't take any risks. Say what
True.
you will about the prequels. George Lucas had ideas. They weren't good ideas, but he had ideas,
Yeah.
and they.
He hasn't had a good idea since
I don't know how many of
Raiders?
THX 1138.
Raiders.
Yeah, and see, like, was it like Spielberg? I know was pretty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much of it was
Lucas's
Lucas.
story. I think.
The only
And I
thing
think
Lucas could-
that's what Lucas can do is like he can like come up with like an idea, and then someone more talented can make something good out of
The
it.
problem is that when he's got power, he thinks his idea is the best idea. I think I mentioned when we were talking about, I don't even remember what we were talking about, but disappointing movies.
Seems to be a theme that we.
but we were talking. We somehow got to Indiana Jones episode 4.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, and Frank Darabont had written a script,
right, which would be
which
awesome.
would have been so much better.
'Cause he's
I mean,
awesome.
he is. But it wasn't Lucas's idea, so he nixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, now
I
he
mean,
sold
Luke Starkiller. You know,
Yeah.
Starkiller base.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways,
Um,
so Star Wars, just they should have stopped. Is that's your answer?
No,
Like
because
back
I
in
was
1983?
as
Right. Yes.
that's not a bad idea with Jedi.
Jedi.
just be done.
Wrap it up. Let it be a thing. A perfectly fine
But
thing.
I got to tell you, I was excited when the prequels came out, and because I'm the odd man out in this group, that I
Don't watch things when they come out.
don't watch things when they come out, don't have as many problems with things when they do come out, and I watch them as you do.
True.
What?
I can see the merits in just about every movie to some extent, and
Come on, you can't see any merits in Phantom Menace.
I liked it. I liked it
The
when it
only
came
merit
out
is-
just because
Don't say Jar Jar.
John
Oh,
Williams.
God.
Is what I was going to say.
you obviously have no
Just
respect.
like
for me,
I
Rob.
think.
No, I was
him?
saying him.
Yeah, no,
okay.
no, I'm not going to be that contrarian. I think the scores to the prequel trilogy might be John Williams' best scores.
Okay, fair.
with
like-
the choral stuff.
Yeah, Duel of the Fates. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that was good.
That's terrific.
I liked
Yeah.
so what I liked best about the prequels was how they really amped up the Jedi powers, the Jedi fights. They were more about like
So the fights were kind of cool. I agree,
Right.
actually.
like I think Phantom Menace had the best fight with
with Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. Ray Park is Darth
Yeah.
Maul doing like that. Like he's excellent. But then they went too far with the next
With
one
Yoda?
with Yoda.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
doing
too far.
his
No, I'm not talking about Yoda.
with his little
I'm talking about the
Grover
real
yell.
guys. His Yoda yell.
I said Grover.
Oh,
Grover.
Grover.
yelling.
Well, it is
I'm done.
Frank.
Frank
Oz.
Oz.
I'm done.
Yeah. Waka waka. Oh.
You just lost me for the next 20 minutes.
Fozzie Bear as the returning Jedi. No, so the fight scenes, the fact that they in the first installment of Star Wars 4, 5, and 6, the Jedi powers were kind of cheesy. They were kind of like Luke really had to struggle and he couldn't do shit, and but here like what's his name with the long hair, Liam down to the knee, son. He I saw that online yesterday.
Nailed it.
Saw Train Spotting.
Trainspotting?
No, sorry.
Like their powers were, to be all the stuff that they were doing that was never touched on in the first thing. I like that stuff.
Hold on, but that wasn't cheesy because boy, there was some extra cheese.
Well,
in
no,
those.
I didn't say that that wasn't cheesy.
Do you remember the bit when they force ran away? Do you guys remember that?
They disappeared. It was like, phew.
Yeah, they zoomed down a hallway.
Yeah.
Which they never do again for some reason.
Yeah.
Like that's just this one point where they're like, destroyer droids.
I think
It seems like they could have used that a lot.
A
in
lot.
all of the
Like,
movies.
later in that
It came
movie.
in very handy.
I think that they needed to have established that is that the force is not infinite. Like your body maybe can't sustain that amount of magic for that long.
Midichlorians.
Shut the fuck up with the midichlorians. No, what I'm saying, you know what I mean though? Like if you can just
You're
basically do whatever the
reminding
hell,
me of the things that I didn't like about them.
if you can basically do whatever the hell you want anytime you want, there's no
It's
Story?
not fun anymore.
yeah,
Yeah. There's no narrative
at
drive.
all.
Yeah.
All right.
So I mean, they needed to somehow like the force running stupid.
It was bad.
Yeah. Anyways, so my problem is, I really feel like the original trilogy was not made for. It was made for George Lucas. Like he made it for a story that he wanted to see, not for what he thought everybody else wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I think that after that, it's become like trying to please the masses.
The
well,
money
really,
mill.
really, what happened is he came up with a pretty cool little space opera,
Yeah.
and then it did great
Right.
when it came out, and then other people ran with it and kept making it successful, and he just
Well-
kind of like, took his creative vision and put it into ILM and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for
And
5
the
and 6, sure.
storytelling,
And then 1, he tried to start over again in charge, which was a bad idea.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't knock the man because I don't have billions of dollars worth of of movie capital in my back pocket,
Right.
and a ranch and things like that. So, he's a good guy. He's a talented guy, turkey neck and everything. But let me just say,
I don't think it's a turkey neck. There's just no neck.
oh, well,
That's more
Goes
like
straight from chin to chest.
like a
sounds
Jabba
like-
the Hutt sort of looking.
Yeah.
Gee.
Boota boota solo.
and
Punta punta.
and so we digress.
Yeah.
Forget it. I'm out of here.
No.
I don't even remember what I was going to say.
Star Wars. We're talking Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Fast forward to Solo
Okay.
or rewind.
However we're getting.
Yeah, whatever. We know what we're talking about.
So what what merits would you say that film actually had? Could you count
I
them
actually
on one
liked
hand?
Chewbacca a lot.
How could you not? He's the same in every freaking movie.
I see. I didn't even love him.
I didn't like how he knew Wookiee.
Yeah.
I
and
agree
spoke
with
it.
that.
And Chewbacca. That's just too long to say. Oh,
I know. I know.
Yeah.
But that wasn't Chewbacca. I thought the actual, seeing Chewbacca,
but that Chewbacca is only as good as his interactions with other people. Because
Yes,
by himself, like a Chewbacca movie, that's called Star Wars: The Holiday Special,
Yeah.
where you get 10 uncut minutes of unsubtitled Wookiees talking to each other. That's what happens if you just have
I gotcha.
Chewbacca.
I gotcha. Well, here's maybe more of what I'm saying is that the Chewbacca in Solo was the one that should have been in Episode 4 with the physicality of him. When Han says, they don't rip your arm out if they lose.
And he does the
Right.
hands behind the head.
Right. But the Chewbacca in Solo, you believe could rip arms off of a droid. The one in Episode 4 was like an old guy in a costume.
Oh, I don't know. I thought he had really good comedic timing. He did the hands behind the head thing.
I'm not talking
which was
about comedic
great.
timing. I'm talking about the physicality, the actual physicality of a Wookiee.
But I also don't want to know about Chewbacca eating people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
That's a little too much of that.
Well, I don't disagree with
Right. So even that's why I'm saying I don't really
who
care
do
for
you
what
eat?
they do. They implied it heavily by trying to feed Solo to him, and it's sort of been implied that Chewie's been down
Oh
there a
yeah,
while.
that he was all gangly and
Yeah. So the implication of that scene is that he's been down there eating people.
Right.
It's possible. I mean, if they starve him and then they throw someone down there, he's
Right.
going to eat. He tried
Yeah.
to eat those little birds on that other planet or whatever.
Yeah, which he gave up on. Which I was like, oh, you already killed him. Eat the bird. Otherwise, you're just
It
being
looked
wasteful. Chewie.
delicious. He
yeah,
cooked
dude.
it perfectly.
I would have looked
Perfectly.
that porg dead in the eyes
I know
while
you
eating
would've.
the other one.
and then had some of the milk that
Yeah, washed it
Luke
down
had.
with some blue milk. And that's another instance of Disney showing an origin for something we never needed. I didn't need to know where the blue milk came from.
right.
Uh,
I never put it together that was
Yep.
the blue milk. Yeah.
yeah,
From Tatooine.
Right, I assume. I don't know. Maybe that's just
Maybe
like
not. Maybe it's just a
common thing.
different blue milk.
Yeah, that it's
I don't
more
know.
it's more pasteurized on Tatooine.
That's raw blue milk. That kind of blue milk is actually illegal in 25 different systems because it's raw
Yeah,
and you could die.
Ooh.
Did you like the like I said, they should make these spin-off movies, but not origin movies. Like, you know what I mean? Like the story itself would have been a decent story if they didn't have all those connections to the original Star Wars and trying to make shit up to.
Right. Like, that's sort of what I was saying with, like, I wanted just Chewie and him to be already, like, on an adventure.
Yeah.
Like, just have them already doing something. If they meet Lando, fine. That's one thing. Like, but, like, we don't need everything.
And the Darth Maul thing just confused the shit out of me.
So that was weird because I actually watched the Star Wars Clone Wars show, which I was actually going to mention. I actually enjoyed it, and that was before the Disney buyout. And that's part something I was going to say is that, like, I actually think Star Wars was in an okay place before the Disney thing. Like, there was like some amount of years after Episode 3 where Star Wars was just sort of doing like weird spin-off stuff, you know, video games, and that TV show and whatever. And that was great. It got like, the Clone Wars got really weird and dark. And they did have a storyline where they brought
war as hell.
Yeah. And they did. Oh, there was some crazy dark moments in that show, which I loved. But one of the storylines was they brought Darth Maul back. And he's got the robot legs that he's got in Solo. And the same like lightsaber, which has like this weird like curved thing on the end. So like that was like, yeah,
nothing. No.
Okay. So I like when I saw that, I was like, oh, that is a weird tie-in to make.
Yeah.
In the Solo movie, like in the post Disney thing, they've been pretty like hands off from the prequels. Like they just haven't been touching anything from that era. So to decide like in the Solo movie, they're like, this is where we're going to bring back Darth Maul. And they got the voice actor from the Clone Wars show to do his voice for the little bit that he was on screen. So that it was just weird. Like I was like, I get it, but also I was curious, like, what if you didn't watch the Clone Wars? Would you be confused as shit?
Yeah.
Turns out, yeah.
Yeah. He's supposed to be dead.
Right.
As far as anybody knew.
Yeah, that's why I was confused because I didn't see the Clone Wars, and I was trying to get like familiarized with the timeline. I'm like, so is this happening before Phantom Menace then?
Nope. He's back, and actually that was one of the. It was actually one of my favorite storylines on the Clone Wars, where he came back and he took over like a criminal organization and started like running it.
But he was cut in half.
Yeah, well, he's got robot legs now.
It doesn't matter what legs he's got. He was cut in half.
Well, the lightsaber cauterized everything.
Yeah. So then you just sew on robot legs.
And that's why
Luke didn't bleed
to death.
What about his colon and like all of the other parts?
Well,
Who retrieved him out of that abyss with the lights and that he fell down in?
You remember more of that film than I do.
I've seen it 150,000 times. I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm not, like, it's funny, the idea to bring him back was George Lucas's. Like, that was the thing, like, the Clone Wars show, they were doing their own thing, and George Lucas came out and was like, I want Darth Maul back.
That's a really good Lucas impression.
Thank you. And they're like, what? Yeah, bring him back.
It's like Kermit the
It's very, very Frank Oz almost. Kind of.
It's a little bit. Well, have you heard George Lucas? He's a little bit.
I think he is a Muppet.
Straight up.
Straight up Muppet.
He is,
that's why he has no neck.
He's the most
where
impressive.
the hand goes.
Did you ever see him like point to something? He's got a stick coming out of his wrist.
He's the Henson Studios crowning achievement. Guys, but so
digress.
And then, but anyway, so that was their idea, his idea, and then they just had to do it, and that's what I think George Lucas does. Like, he comes up with an idea, and then more talented people turn it into something cool. Mm-hmm. Like the Darth Maul storyline in that show, like, worked out really well, but like bringing him back was dumb. Like, with his stupid robot legs.
Why can't
at
they
first
just
he had
let
like
people
spider
die?
legs, and then they just gave him 2 legs.
And well, him coming back doesn't make any sense because when did he come back? Who were the Sith? Because there's only supposed to be 2 ever.
Right.
So who were the Sith when he was back?
The Count Dooku was doing his thing.
Well, what about that? Would be 3.
Yeah, and spoiler alert for Clone Wars. The end of Darth Maul's storyline on that show is the Emperor came back. Like he found out Darth Maul was back, and he found Darth Maul and wrecked his shit.
But no,
Was like he was still alive at the end, like so they could leave it open, and apparently he lived and is doing stuff in Solo, but like
they did this like Lost. They just made it up as they went along.
exactly. Oh, that well,
And if anyone believes that
J.J.
George
Abrams.
Lucas wrote that whole backstory, they're confused as hell. He came up with that after the fact.
oh, George Lucas has been doing that even in the original trilogy. The like Leia being his sister thing. Like, did you watch it? Hey, George, you know they kissed in the last movie, right?
like tongue kiss.
Like tongue kissed. He even did like a little smirk afterward, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look what I just kissed, your sister."
Yep.
Yeah, like that totally like that taints Empire. Like,
Nothing taints Empire.
So
incest does. Like, you know,
I kind of think
didn't
incest taints
fuck.
most things.
yeah, ew.
Guess we're explicit again.
Yeah, I guess so. Incest is
I've
wincest.
already sworn.
So where do you guys see the future of the Star Wars franchise? Just keep perpetual until we all die?
Ryan Johnson's supposed to be putting together a trilogy of stories somewhere else in the galaxy with none of the same characters.
Okay.
Which I'm okay with.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they need to do is they need to just get away from it, do something else.
They can
Will
drop
they
Easter
do
eggs.
the Obi-Wan story?
I-
They've said everything's been put on hold.
Right,
But
because Solo
Solo sucked.
bombed.
Yeah.
It bombed like hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they lost a lot of money on that. Mostly because they had to reshoot the movie and it doubled the budget.
Right.
That tends to happen when you reshoot a movie.
Yeah, the from scratch, like Jesus, why, how, even like what?
I know what happens when we're done with one of our projects. And can you imagine having to do it all again?
No.
Like, I guess if you're making that kind of money,
like
then it's
2
like
weeks of sleep.
it's like, all right, so we're gonna have to do that all again. But the good news is that we're paying you again. Okay,
Well, some of like the Paul Bettany
Yeah.
wasn't cast until Ron Howard came on.
Yeah, good lord.
And that character was in the movie though as a different actor, and they finished like all his stuff, and then they just like filmed it differently. They just did a different actor doing the same character but differently.
that's to do with the scars and stuff.
Yeah.
Vision.
The Vision. Yeah.
Nothing, man. Everything's just over here.
He's been in a bunch of
Vision
Ron Howard
from
movies.
Avengers.
He was also the albino in the Da Vinci Code.
Yep.
I remember him from A Beautiful Mind.
Yep.
A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, whatever. Beautiful Mind.
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
He was the bard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a trudger.
Yeah.
I trudge.
All right, we should wrap this up because
Oh, geez. I don't even think we talked about the future of the Star Wars
no,
franchise.
we didn't. But
Well, it was
who
just
cares?
a little bit. I think they need to head in a completely different direction with new characters.
Yeah.
I mean,
Basically.
I'd like to see a Star Trek Star Wars crossover film.
Well, they got J.J. Abrams on.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's, do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Get
So
the
who would
Chris
win?
Pine. Oh, Star Trek.
But
'cause
the
they have
problem
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
is that Star Wars is a long time
phasers.
ago, and Star Trek is in the future.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Man.
Science beats magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prove it.
All right, that's the next episode. Science versus magic.
I mean, that's basically the reason I actually, years ago when I was younger, when Star Wars was still good, liked Star Wars so much better than Star Trek was because it was gritty, it was dirty. You know, it wasn't because everything Star Trek was so pristine.
Yeah.
I hated that. I hated everything was clean.
Yeah. Well, that was sort of sci-fi pre Star Wars, like in general.
Right.
and
they'll
Star
have
Wars is science fantasy or whatever they call it.
True.
Right, because it's not based on science, like
No, not at all.
right. Whereas like Star Trek will take it like an idea about like,
Oh, presidential alert!
this is a test of the National Wireless.
Yeah, I forgot
Emergency
about that. I should have remembered that was going to happen right in the middle of recording our podcast.
I didn't.
I didn't even
about
know
it.
about it.
So that means it's 2:18 p.m. on Wednesday. The
It
3rd of
surely is.
October.
Oh, okay. Neat. Well, so hey, but the test worked.
Thank
right?
God.
Yeah, all of us got that right. So
All right. Well, there we have it.
yeah,
Star Wars.
Star Wars needs to do something, or it will continue to be bad.
That was profound.
Yeah, that's. I was trying to sum up our brief thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think they just need to leave the characters that we love alone.
Mm-hmm.
Leave some of it to our imagination. They have really, there is nothing left, honestly,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it would have been better.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh. Is it time? Oh.
Austin,
Yeah.
sing us out.
Okay.
Timmy
This is-
fell in a hole?
Yeah, I did. Oh, and I need to sing. This has been Rock Fox talking about Star Wars. We think that it's not doing great. Oh.
Oh.
Nailed it.
Austin.
Yeah. Someone help me.
Throw me a rope.